So we've learned that the world gives evidence of a creator God. Does creation give evidence of a personal God?
Creation, I'm going to say yes. Paul talks about that in the book of Acts when he's preaching, and he says, the God who gives each one of us food every day is the same God who wants to know you. So the fact that he cares about our daily needs and provides food to eat. Each time we eat, it's like God saying, this is my care for you personally. And if it wasn't that way, we wouldn't be eating. And so that's kind of the logic that Paul uses. But it also becomes personal in a lot of other ways. I talked with a guy on campus 3 weeks ago. He said, when I saw an eclipse, I was stunned. He said, I was on my knees and I was brought to tears just by the fact that here's the sun so big and so far away, and yet the moon so close and so much smaller, and yet they occupy the exact same space in the sky during an eclipse. And he said, there's no way this could be by chance. And I said to him, do you think that moment was the creator of the sun and the moon introducing himself to you? And it blew him away. And he was like, tell me more. So yeah, he injects and he infuses personal aspects into his creation. I mean, look at your own hands. He gave you hands that work, and you can do all kinds of stuff with your hands. That's the gift of our bodies, is a personal aspect of his creation. He's witnessing to us by creating us with bodies that do all kinds of cool stuff that no animal can do. Animals can't do eye surgery. Animals can't enjoy movies. You know, we do all these things because God is personally interested in having made us with all the tools we need to know him. And that's very personal to me.
Dr. Thomas is talking about Acts chapter 14 and verse 17, where the apostle says, and is recorded by Dr. Luke, that God gave us rain from heaven, filling our hearts with food and gladness. I love that verse. Every time it rains, I think of that verse. And so, God is very, very personal. And Paul makes it very, very clear in his apologetic on Mars Hill as he tells the philosophers assembled, hey, that to the unknown God, the statue you set up is the one true God. That takes us back to John chapter 14 and verse 6, where Jesus says he is the way and the truth and the life, and that no one comes to the Father except by him. As biologists, we appreciate that verse because Jesus says he's the life. Well, how do you define life? We could be here for the next 20 years trying to define life and we won't get very close. But however we define what life is, we have to include the Creator God, the Lord Jesus Christ, who said He is the life. And by the way, He made the stars also. I wish I had thought of that, but it's recorded in Genesis chapter 1 that the Lord Jesus Christ, the Creator, created the stars also. We know so much more about the stars thanks to the James Webb Space Telescope looking into the very distant reaches of the universe in the infrared spectrum and seeing things that are simply unbelievable. All of us here are very blessed to be able to see in the deepest regions of the universe that nobody on this planet has ever seen except in this last 1 year of our existence on Earth.
All made possible, if I can add, and thank you for one-upping me by quoting the actual verse. I've got to go memorize my verses. But why is it that we are able to see in deep space? Because most places around space would be, you'd be shrouded by a nebula. You couldn't even see out of your own stellar region. And yet the Lord has provided a clear sky for us to see into deep space. That's personal too. He wants to care. He cares so much about us to leave us a testimony to His greatness, for the heavens declare the glory of God. And night after night they pour forth speech, says Psalm 19. Verse 1. And so He's personal with the minute things, and He's personal with the mega things that He's made.